Hi guys, it's time for some major surgery. This is obviously the neck from my stratocaster, and the problem I've been having is this neck's been on and off a million times because it's an old neck. It's from 1986. There we go. Had it upside down. 1986, and this guitar's been modified a bazillion times before I got it anyway, and a couple times since. So the neck's been on and off so many times that the screws have stripped. A couple of them anyway, this one and this one for sure. These two are getting close. So it's time to fix that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to drill out these holes and put a piece of doweling in. I'm using this 3/8 doweling, 3/8 diameter, and there's one that I've already done. So I open it up with a 3/8 drill, shove the doweling in there, tap it in, put a little bit of glue to hold it in place, and then center drill it with a hole that's appropriate for the screws. So there's some meat there for the screws to grab onto when I reinstall the neck, and that'll solve my loose neck problems. Now there's a couple ways to go. This is a piece of 1/4" doweling, which is a little bigger than the holes. Okay, and you would think, well, okay, well that should do. I thought about that, but the problem is by the time you get the doweling installed and then you drill it out to make room for the screw, and then the threads of the screw cut into it, there's going to be nothing left. The whole thing might just pull out. So that's why I went with the bigger stuff. So now you can see got a nice big chunk of doweling here with a hole in it, and that's not going anywhere, because even if it tries to come loose, it's going to be pushing against the pocket of the guitar anyway. But that's not coming loose. That's in there super snug. So anyway, that's the general gist of it. So I have, where the hell did I put it? 3/8 drill right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up a bit and do all three, and then put the caps in, and then we'll bolt it down and see what happens. So hang on a second and I'll get set. Okay, got my 3/8 drill, and we're going to go with this one. So the question you should probably ask, well, how do you know when to stop drilling so you don't go all the way through? Well, you just go slowly until you feel the drill bottom out. At the bottom of that, this is about 3/4 inch deep, and I've cut these plugs so that they're only about 1/2 inch deep, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, and now you want to make sure the drill is as straight as you can. Ideally it should be done on a drill press, which I don't have, so I have to do it old school. But these holes that are already in there, they'll help to guide the drill straight, as long as you don't go in at any crazy angles. Okay, so okay, there we are at the bottom. He's going slowly, but I could feel when the drill didn't want to go any further, and that was it. Don't push it any further than that, and you won't have a problem. Okay, we'll get all the shit cleaned off the bench, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, where's my plug? Here. Take a little super glue just to hold this thing in place. I guess you could use wood glue and all that too. It's probably better, but this is what I got. And since these aren't coming out again, that'll do. So put it on the inside of the hole. Let's go around the edge like that. Don't put it on the dowel, because when you jam the dowel in, it'll just all squeeze up off the dowel and make a mess. And a little tap and hammer. There. This is a brass hammer. This is a brass hammer, brass on one side and plastic on the other, so it will not damage the wood. Don't use a metal one because you'll just pound out all this shit. Alright, hang on a minute. Right. Okay, so that's in. And what I've got here is a little razor blade, single-edged safety blade with the thing on the end. And I'm just going to, already started, I'm going to finish here, just shaving off anything that sticks up, because we want it flush with the neck. There we go. So yeah, you don't want it sticking up because it could cause you problems with the neck. You want the neck to stay flush in the pocket. You don't want something sticking up here that's going to make it do one of these, right? So that's that. So now the next step is to figure out exactly where the hole goes in the plug. Okay, hang on a minute and we'll do that. Okay, so here's how we do that. What we're going to do is put the neck back on. It's held on with a couple of screws. This is the one that I've already done, and this is the one that I have to mark. So what we're going to do first though is we're going to put this screw in so that you do them, basically do them one at a time, so that all the screw holes are in the right spot and I don't wind up with a crooked neck if I do them all at the same time. So this is just chapstick. Put a little bit on the drill, on the screw. Just lubes it a little bit. I'm just cutting these threads for the first time. And get the drill with the thingy on it. There. Perfect. Okay, so just tighten it and loosen it a bit with the drill. That's bang on. That's exactly what you want. Okay, so now we need to figure out where to put the hole for the screw in this one. So we take the screw that came out of it and we put it in there until it stops. That leaves a mark. Okay. You just screw it down a little bit. You don't crank on it. Just enough until you feel it stop and back off. Okay, that's good enough. So that's going to leave a little dimple in the plug so we know where to drill our hole. Alrighty, hang on, I'll get this apart and we'll do that. Okay, so we have a small drill, and now we line up, get some light in the picture. Right, there we go. Okay, and you can see right here the little dimple that the screw made, just enough that the drill bit will grab on. Okay, so again, the drill, try to keep it as straight as humanly possible and go slowly, because since the plug is only 1/2 inch long and the actual hole in there is about 3/4, you're going to go through this, you're going to go through the plug with the drill. As soon as you hit the bottom of the drill, of the plug, I mean, the drill's going to drop a little bit into that empty space. So that's how you know not to go too far. So again, we make sure everything's lined up, and yeah, felt it drop. Okay, there's the hole. Okay, so now what we got to do is put it back on the body and put the screw in here, and then we do the other ones the same way. So just hang on a second and I'll get it set for the... Okay, there we go. Everything's back in. This one here, we'll just twist it back on until it snugs. And there. That's how you do it. I'm going to do the other ones now, and I'll come back in a minute and you can see how it all turned out. Okay, there we are. All 4 holes are drilled and plugged, and ready to be reinstalled. I'll get the body. Crap out of the way. Now we take the thing and it's pretty much like putting a neck on any other time. Except it'd be a little tougher to get the screws in. Drive it in. Goes in without too much trouble. And don't put it all the way tight, just close. And then do the same with this side. All the way down, but not quite. All the way down, not quite. And all the way down, but not quite. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll do there, crossways, just like putting wheels on a car. I don't know if it matters, but can't hurt. There it is, done. That's about all it takes to fix that. A little bit of time, a couple of drill bits, and some doweling. This is 3/8 doweling. I got it at the dollar store. It came in a pack of like 6 of these foot-long sticks. And done like dinner. Okay, any questions? Let me know. Thanks for watching.